Hi everybody, what's up? It's Mariah and I'm back with a video for you guys today. This video is going to be a story time, and this is going to be the story time about my move-in this year. I haven't decided if I want to actually put the actual company's name in this video just because I feel like I need to do a little consulting before I do that, but I do want to advise that this company moves out primarily college students, and they are a university moving company based in Georgia, and their name is like very obvious. So like I'll just call them like college moving company because like it's literally like y'all, but I don't know if I'm gonna put their actual name in here, but this is gonna be the story about that. And y'all, when I tell you there are so many issues, like it wasn't like the worst move-in process that it could have been, but it was definitely not the best. Like their service was, so this is gonna be a story time on that. And if you see me looking off to the side, it's because I have a list. I didn't just come here unprepared. Oh, no. I knew what this was gonna be. So let's start at the beginning. This is like way back in spring semester of my first year. Like I'm trying to move out during like finals. I'm having my last little moments with my friends. My last moments with my little yaya at the time. We're just vibing. Everything's just a vibe, and we're trying to study for finals and all this and move out at the same time. Side note, I feel like I don't understand why colleges don't just add like an extra week or like just even a few days after finals to like have students move out, because I feel like that process is just so stressful trying to move out at the same time. Like I don't understand it personally. Regardless, that's what was happening. Getting off when they're actually picking up my stuff. This is the day of my move out, and I scheduled my move out to be like I think it was like one day early. So I didn't have any more finals and I was just ready to move out, so I was able to move out a little bit early. They're supposed to be there from, I believe it was, our time frame was 1 to 4. I was stressing out because like I stayed up all night with my friend and we were saying our goodbyes or whatever, and I was packing and I was stressed out and I wasn't sleeping because I was like, oh my gosh, I have so much packing to do before my dad gets here to help me. And he came and he helped me and we cleaned and everything because we had to, you know, leave the dorm like better than we found it, obviously. And so we ended up our dorm, or my dorm, or at least my side because my roommate was still staying there, but I emptied it out and we have everything packed up, boxes taped, everything labeled, everything. We're waiting now. We're just waiting. Time frames from 1 to 4. We finish at like 12:30. They don't actually get there to pick up my stuff or my scheduled pickup until like 4:30. Now they created these time frames. It's not like I was like, you all can come anywhere from 1 to 4 or like whatever, because if it was up to me, I would have like given them a very specific time, said you come at this time, and then like they would come and whatever. But that's not how it works, unfortunately, because it's their company. But I don't know. So, and they pick these times, but they can't even abide by them. It's just weird to me. And like, if y'all know anything about me, I'm a very big on scheduling. I'm very big on abiding by the things that you say you're gonna do. And so if you say you're gonna deliver a service at a certain time and then you're late and it's like, because imagine I had to be at the airport like that day. I didn't, but imagine if I did. Like imagine if my flight was scheduled for like 7 o'clock and you're not getting here until like 4:30, 5 o'clock. Now I'm stressed out. Are you picking my stuff up? Because we had to be there to, anyways. So they come, we're trying to figure out why they're so late, because you know we're calling to check and see. Like by the time it hit 2 o'clock, we were like, okay, like, and we know that's like a little bit early in the time frame, but again, like time frame was 1 4. I'm moving out early, so I didn't expect there to be that much of a difficulty with picking up my stuff. But hey, whatever. So we call, whatever. They say they only have two people on duty at the moment. And these two people are picking up the boxes and moving them into the little U-Haul that they rented. Yeah, U-Haul. Picking them up into the U-Haul, and they are the ones doing that all throughout the campus. And that's why it's taking a long time. Now, there's probably like 20 plus girls. Like I don't know, but I'm assuming like if I'm moving out, I'm moving out earlier, but it's still not super early. There's probably like 20 plus people who signed up for the same time slot as me. You have two men, and these are two older men too. It's not like they're like young and like, no, baby, they're like middle aged and after, picking up these boxes in this blazing heat and going back and forth. That's what you think is delivering good service? I'm confused. Like, I appreciate the effort, but it's not making sense. Why would you only have two people doing that? Anyways, like, I just feel like, why are you advertising yourself as like a functioning company when you only have two people doing this and they're not doing it correctly? Like, it would be one thing if it was two people and they were on time, they were punctual, they were doing their thing, but they're taking forever, baby. Like, no. Okay, so they're late, whatever, we're waiting. This man, and I feel so bad. So I lived on the second floor of my building, and like I said, we had no elevators, everything was stairs. And these were old buildings as well with no AC. So just imagine like blazing Atlanta sun, like blazing summer. It's hot, like it's humid, it's gross, and you have to carry these huge and these boxes are like, so and I mean, we brought them down from my room because we understood that, like, or at least in the thing it said that they would move them from the lobby to the car. So we were like, okay, so we brought them down to the lobby, we carried them down two flights of stairs by ourselves, which was hard in and of itself. We do that, and this poor man, like, I feel bad even though I shouldn't, because again, the service was not very great. But like, this poor guy, like, he's just this skinny dude just by himself, older guy, and like he's just he looks at these boxes, like he looks at the size of them, looks at how they're packed. He's just like, oh man. Like, me and my dad, we like hold the door open for him, but like he's literally just carrying them up and down the stairs, and he looks exhausted. Sweat just like, oh god. I'm glad that's, you know, whatever. I'm glad that we're getting some help with this, because I have my boxes. We signed for pickup. Now, this is very important. This is very important. The reason why we had to be there for them to pick up our stuff, not only to just confirm that they got it, but they had to sign paperwork. They had to sign a form. At the top, it said what dorm we wanted it delivered to, the name of my dorm, the room number, and the date that I needed it dropped off. They told us explicitly, hey, you need to sign this, hey, you need to do this. It's not like we just assumed. The paperwork was there, the paperwork was given, and we were directed to sign the paperwork. And I just want to emphasize this because this comes up later in the story. Okay, moving on. So now we're in the summer. Now, Spelly, love this institution. They have their own issues when it comes to housing, just like every other HBCU, honestly, just like every other college. I'm not a freshman anymore. Like, these schools really, they really start to give you the real on what you're going to be dealing with, and that is definitely what happened. Even sophomores were required to stay on campus this academic year. However, regardless of that new rule, it seemed like there was a lot of issues because the amount of sophomores and then the huge incoming class of first years just was like fighting, conflicting when it came to available housing. And so, first of all, my housing slot was super late, so I got like not the best dorm originally, but originally my dorm was like going to be farther across campus, whatever. Later, I got switched, so I was moved to a different dorm. So I'm like, okay, this is going to be an issue because, again, I'm thinking I signed the paperwork that said that my stuff is going to move here. I emailed them, right? And at this point, I think I should mention this. They were constantly sending invoices as well, as though we didn't pay our deposit, as though we didn't pay for the full service, actually, because we paid the deposit and we paid the full service. Invoice through PayPal, so I'm writing them. I emailed them about that. I called them. They said, ignore that. Okay, maybe fix your system, but that's fine, whatever. They said, ignore it. And never got back to me. Never got back to me about the first email. Never got back to me about the second email. Why even have an email if you're not going to be checking it? Not my business, not my problem, not my corporation. I can't tell you how to run it. However, here I am telling you how to run it right now because you're not running it correctly. Anyways, moving on. The next issue is when we actually try to move in. So listen, I had to get here early because I was serving as a peer assistant leader. I was serving as a PAL, which means I was helping with new student orientation, which is about a week of events for first years before everyone else gets to campus and classes start. So And I had already put that on my information before. I knew that prior and everything when it came to scheduling. I knew that. So that was communicated. I call, like, I think the day before my move in. It's a Sunday. I move in on Monday. I call because there are no listed office hours. Or, like, I say office hours like they're a professor. There's no listed, like, company hours, you know? Like, it's not listed. And before, they were functioning on weekends regardless. So it's like, you're moving people in and out on weekends. I'm assuming that you're taking calls during weekends. I call because I'm thinking like, hey, let me just check that my stuff is confirmed for drop off. Because the more and more that I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking like, this doesn't make sense. Like, how are they gonna know what time to drop my stuff off? Like, when are they gonna be whatever? So like, I call and I'm like, hey, I'm just calling to confirm my drop off of my items. Like, you have them. We scheduled this, whatever. And first of all, so he answers the phone. He's like, hello, college mover company. And I'm like, hey, just calling to confirm if my stuff was ready for drop off on this day. I'm moving in tomorrow and I just wanted to make sure because I haven't heard anything back from the company or anything like that. So I'm just checking to confirm. He says, well, did you fill out the form? And I'm like, oh yeah, like upon drop off, like, or pickup in spring semester, for sure, I did fill out a form that said that you would be dropping it off on this day at this location. But I just wanted to first off remind you that my location, I get interrupted. No, there is no form. There is no form. What form are you talking about? That doesn't exist. That doesn't exist. I'm talking about the online form. The online form you're supposed to fill out to schedule your drop off. Instantly, I'm just like, come again? No, I did not fill out an online form, reiterating, but I filled out a paper form that you guys have on file that said that you were going to deliver on this day to this location. He says that's impossible. That's impossible. That's not possible. He says, he literally says this. He's like, I don't believe that. He said, I don't believe you. That doesn't happen. That's not true. That's not how our process works. He said that we have an online form that you're supposed to fill out to schedule your drop off, and that's how we drop off. Like, he was like, how would that work? How would I don't know. You guys, mind you, we're in Target right now. So when we're having this conversation, I'm just randomly decided to call in Target because I'm like buying my stuff for my dorm. But I'm like, oh my gosh, let me make sure that I actually have stuff when I get there. So he's saying that that's not possible. And I'm like, well, and my dad's sitting next to me and he's like, well, we have a picture. I'm like, period. So I'm like, we actually have a picture of the form that we signed when this all went down. He was like, all right, send me the picture. I'd love to see this picture. I would love to see this picture because that's not true. That's not possible. But I would love to see this picture actually. I would love to see. And so he keeps saying that. He keeps saying that he would love to see the picture. I'm like, okay, sir, we will send you the picture. So I send it to the email that they have on there. You know what this man said? He says, oh, I'm actually not in the office right now. You don't need to be in an office to access the email, but okay, especially if it's a Gmail, like be serious, right? So he said, I'm not in office right now. Can you send it to my personal email? We sent it to his personal email. He looks at it. He says, no, you filled out the form wrong. You were supposed to sign that when we dropped it off, like when we actually dropped it off. First of all, sir, it was you and your other two men, you and your other guy here who told us to fill out this form like this. Like, it's not like we just like created the papers, brought them out of thin air, and we gave ourselves the instructions. That's not how this works. They were there, they watched us, signed it, they told us what to sign. If we did it wrong, then that's your fault. Because none of this, like, we didn't have anything to do with the situation. Like, I'm so confused. But he's telling us, no, you filled that out wrong. You weren't supposed to sign that right now. That was supposed to be done like after we dropped it off upon confirmation of the location. That doesn't make any sense to me. That doesn't make sense to me because I'll insert a picture as well of this form so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Like, okay, so what do we do basically? At this point, we've conversated for a while, like we're trying to figure out the situation because now he's saying that we would have to fill out the form because my move-in date isn't on one of the like date slots they have. I'd have to pay an extra fee to get my items. And so we've been on the phone for a while trying to figure this out because we're not trying to pay an extra fee to get something that was said that it was supposed to be delivered on a certain day, like that we already signed a contract for, that we already paid for in full. Remind you, pay a deposit. We pay the deposit plus the entire fee. So it's not like this is just half paid for. No, baby, we already paid for the service. You need to deliver. Hold up your end of the deal, and that's not happening. So this is the issue. You know what I'm saying? We're getting frustrated. My dad starts to get on the phone. He starts talking to the guy. He's trying to figure out like why this isn't happening. And like they're on speaker. And so like you know how on an iPhone, if you're on the phone with somebody or on FaceTime, it's like in the corner, it's like green. I see it go from green to just nothing. And so my dad's still talking because he has a Samsung and he's also not even looking at the screen, you know, because he's on the phone, whatever. He's not looking at it. But I look at it and I'm like, Dad, he hung up. He hung up. He's not listening anymore. He's not hearing anything that you're saying because he hung up. And my dad's like, what? No, this is not true. He didn't hang up. He didn't hang up. Call him back on my phone because again we're calling from my phone. Call him back. He doesn't answer. This is the same exact number, by the way. Same exact process. Call him back. He doesn't answer. Call him back. He doesn't answer. One more time. He doesn't answer. My dad then goes on his phone. He calls. Ring, ring. College moving company. Oh, so you just weren't responding to my number? He later then says that, oh, he just got disconnected over the phone. But why is it that when I called you back multiple times from my phone number, you don't answer, but when you call, you see a call from another number, you're answering? It's a little strange, right? We're continuing to figure this situation out. Eventually, I just fill out the form and we pay the extra money. I just want to add, like, while we were on the phone, the reason why he was getting such an attitude too, and that's the main reason I'm making this video, is because he was just so aggressive with me and he made me feel so devalued as a person, and I've never felt that way from customer service. Like, I worked in customer service for such a long time. I'm working in like fast food and retail for like 4 years now, so it's like I know how to give customer service. I know what it feels like to have a bad day. I know all these things, and it's like I have never treated someone on the phone like this ever. Like saying that you don't believe a customer, saying that like they're wrong, saying that they did something incorrectly when you were the one instructing them to do it. Like,
And y'all, I want to be 100% clear. When I just re-looked at the form, they did in fact say on the form, like in one of the small prints, that they will post online the delivery dates by no later than August 1st. But the thing is the people who told us to sign that said that regardless of that, the delivery date that they had us sign for was when they would deliver it. And in addition to that, they never even pointed that part out on the contract. Now, I understand that that's our fault that we didn't read that part, but your employees did not point that out, and they also said that our delivery would be scheduled for whenever we signed on the contract. So I just want to make that very clear. Very clear.
and when I tell y'all he was so rude, hanging up in somebody's face. Are we serious? Are we immature? Are we 10 years old? Is this a company? Or am I talking to like a act? Like, what is going on? That's the main reason I'm making the video, and I'm not sure if I'm portraying it correctly, but like y'all, like the way he was treating me was so awful. Like he was just so rude, and it was to the point where like I had to ask my dad to get on the phone because usually I can handle my business. Like usually I just, you know, I talk and I can have a conversation on the phone. I can, but this was my first time where it was just like, bro, like you are being so unreasonable right now. You're being so rude, and it's not even to the point where like he wanted us to fill out the form, and it was like, we're gonna fill out the form, and we fill out the form, but it's just like we're confused about something that y'all did wrong. We're trying to figure out how can we rectify this situation because we shouldn't have to pay more for a mistake that y'all made on y'all's end. You feel me? It was like, but he's being rude to me about it, saying that I did something wrong, saying that I don't know what I'm talking about. He said, like, I work here this is my company, I know what I'm talking about, you don't know what you're talking about. And he's just like, respectfully, you don't know what you're talking about. I must not know what I'm talking about because what? And mind you, I want to say, he keeps talking about like filling out this online form, and this is so irritating to me. Again, with the emails, this online form was never like on the website originally. When you scheduled your pickup, you paid through the link, whatever, but there was no drop-off thing scheduled, and I assumed that was because of the paperwork, right, that they had you sign. Now, what actually happened is they revamped their whole website over the summer. They added a form for you to schedule your pickup, and they sent out no notice to anyone else. They didn't send out notice to anyone. So like they just completely revamped this. They added a new step, a new process. They didn't send out any calls. They didn't send out any emails. They just expected you to look at it and you to do it. And you know what? Maybe that was all my responsibility as like, this is my stuff. I want to make sure it gets delivered properly. But also, I feel like as a company, if you're one, revamping your entire website, and two, adding a second process for pickup or whatever of getting what you need, like from the service that you paid for, then there should be some sort of notice sent out for that. And there was no notice. And in addition to there being no notice, there was like,
Also, y'all, what's getting me is that even if they did get notice about the form beforehand, they did not tell us originally that there would be an online form to fill out before we even paid the deposit. So before they even came to pick up our stuff, they didn't tell us that there would be an online form. There were no delivery dates up there. So perhaps if I would have known that my date that I needed it to be delivered wasn't even an option without having to pay extra, I probably wouldn't even select the actual service. So it's just the lack of communication is what's really getting me.
rudeness and impoliteness and just disrespect accompanied with all of that. So it's just why would I ever book with you ever again? Why would I ever be with you as like a customer ever again when you're treating me so poorly for something y'all did? This is the whole thing. Like, it was just very upsetting. This was very upsetting. Like, this man, I'm not gonna say he caused me to cry, but like he upset me so bad. Like, he made me so upset that it was just like, how are you treating me this way? I don't understand like how you as a grown man are treating someone that you know to be a college student. Like, yes, I'm an adult, but it's like you're treating another person with such a level of disrespect. Like, you're basically spitting on me through the phone for a mistake you made. Are we serious? Regardless. So moving on. The next day comes, we're frustrated, but it's like whatever. We wake up because this time we signed up for the earliest slot because my move-in time was 10 o'clock that day. So, and the only time that they had was like from 8, again with the time frames. So they had from 8 to 12. I had to go to a meeting for my peer assistant thing. I had to be trained for that. So I had to go to a meeting at 1. So I only have from 10 to 1 to really help my dad and everything move in. We're like, okay, fine. We go there early because we don't, they're going to try to be smart and like have me be moving in my stuff at like 7:58 and be like, oh, you weren't here, so we're just not gonna like, we're not gonna try to like have any situation like that. So we try to get there as early as possible. We get there like 8:30, and the security guard is nice enough to let us park in our garage and like charge up the car upon return to the airport. So we're sitting here for like an extra hour and a half just to make sure that they don't try to pull anything on us. And again, it's like, it's one thing to be prepared, but it's another thing to like feel like a service that you paid for is like, the people are being so catty about it. Like, you shouldn't feel like someone is being catty with the service that you paid for. Like, that doesn't make sense. So just that insecurity, like there should be no insecurity in this process. It should be completely secure. Like, I shouldn't have a lack of confidence in your ability to deliver a service that you promised that and you were paid to do, and that you promoted yourself onto our campus. It's not like we were Googling and searching you. You put flyers up. So it's like, you've been doing this, bro. You've been doing this. But for some reason, you're still incompetent at your job. I'm trying to figure it out. And I haven't yet, and I don't understand it. So, but again, we get to this day. We're here early, whatever. We're waiting. Move in. At this point, I'm unpacking my suitcases. I don't have any of my hangers because my hangers are in my things. So I'm putting up clothes that I can. I'm putting them in my drawers, whatever. I'm putting up, any decorations that I bought, setting up my fridge. At this point, it's like 12:45. We call them. They say that they're on campus. They say that they're at the suites. Okay, cool. This was like, and we called them originally like way earlier, like probably around 10 o'clock. We call because we're moving in at this point. They say they're not here yet. We call again at 11. They said they're at the suites. We call again. They say they're at the suites. They call again. They're at the suites. Or McAlpin or whatever. And we're like, okay. So again, 1 o'clock, I have to go. My dad needs to go get stuff for my dorm because I'm sorry, like I need my little snacks. I need my little stuff that he's going to buy for me. Because we left Target early the other day because they were causing so much distress. He ends up leaving whatever, and then they come at like 3 o'clock. Time slot is from 8 to 12. y'all allow me to schedule my time from 8 to 12. And it would be one thing if you were like, oh, we don't know if we'll be able to make 8 to 12 because that is the earliest time slot. You're scheduling it like the day before, like about 24 hours before we can actually get onto, or we actually go to your campus. We still have to pick up your stuff. That's not possible. None of that was said on the phone. None of that was said. They said, okay, schedule it. We'll be there. 3 o'clock is when they get here. My dad is able to move the stuff in, whatever. So again, they're late. It's the issue to me. My dad tells me again, it was just the two of those people. There's only two people moving in all this stuff. This storm has an elevator this time, so no one has to deal with anything like that. But it's just like, well, what are we doing? I get back and receive a call. At this point, it's pouring. There's a tropical storm this day too. My dad's flying out, and there's a tropical storm, so a bunch of flights get canceled. His flight gets pushed back, but like there's a storm. It's raining. I'm starving, but it's just like whatever. I'm in my dorm. I get a call. It's like, hello, is this Mariah? I'm like, yes, hello. And I see, like, he says, like, this is College Moving Company calling about a fan, because mind you, they have forgotten my fan. You remember when I said 3 boxes plus an item? That extra item was one of my tall fans that I had that I don't need now because it's freezing in here. But at the time, it was super hot. Our AC was not working, and whatever. I stored a fan with y'all. I want my fan. It's as simple as that. It doesn't matter if I need it or not. It was an item that I had stored with you guys, so I need it back. They didn't have it when they originally brought my things. So he calls me. He's like, well, I just wanted to let you know that your father said that you needed your fan today, and I want to make sure that we follow through, and you know that we follow through on all of our services. So I brought your fan. We're in the parking lot, but we don't deliver in the rain. We don't deliver in the rain. So if you want your fan, you're gonna have to come and walk and get it. Mind you, again, tropical storm, rain falling, wind blowing, like trees are falling down, planes are getting canceled, like. And you think I'm about to walk down there with an electrical fan and try to go get that in the middle of a storm? Are you crazy? Are you crazy? And the fact that you even like... And he was just being so catty about it again. It's just like, why do you have so much attitude about doing your job? I don't understand this. This is not something that is understood to me. So I'm like, no, it's okay. Because he says that he was going to bring it tomorrow when they were moving in other people. I'm like, okay, like, you all can just bring it tomorrow, no problem, but thank you for coming. Because I'm like, I guess, thank you for coming and bringing the item that you forgot to bring initially upon bringing the other stuff, like, whatever. Thank you for following through on the bare minimum. Whatever. The next day they bring it and they drop off my stuff, but it's just like, you temporarily lost one of my items. Y'all don't have enough people to actually follow through on your job. You're constantly late. Consistently late. You update your website, you update your forms, you don't inform your customers. You're rude on the phone, rude to the point where you have your customers distressed. You're hanging up on your customers. You're complaining about them calling on your off day. Mind you, again, it was a Sunday, so he was like saying, you're calling on my off day. I don't even have to be on the phone with you. I'm doing you a courtesy. Sir, you're the one who answered the phone. If you didn't want to answer the phone, if you wanted this to be your off day, then don't answer the phone. That is completely up to your discretion, babes. Like, I don't know why you're acting like that was my responsibility. Like, that was something that I forced upon you. That was your responsibility. That's something you decided to do. You decided to answer the phone. What does that have to do with me? The lack of detail, just everything about it. It was just a very poor experience. So, just to wrap it all up, that's what ended up happening. I have all my stuff. They ended up delivering everything. I had to rate them, like, again, they didn't permanently lose everything. They temporarily lost one of my items, but they did not permanently lose everything. They did deliver my things, like, last minute. Like, we had to fill out the online form, so they delivered them, whatever. When, again, why have us fill out a paper form and then not inform us of an online form and then expect us to know about the online form and then get mad at us when we don't, and then all this extra drama that just not need to happen if you guys are more organized. But technically they dropped off our stuff last minute, so whatever. Experience, I can't say that it was a 0 out of 10 because all my stuff is here. Like, all my stuff is here, all my stuff is delivered. And so I give it like a 4 out of 10. Will not book with them again ever. Mostly just because, honestly, if I had gone through that whole experience and that man just wasn't that rude on the phone, I don't think I would give him that. I think I would probably give him like a 6 or something. But really, just because of how disrespectful this man was, like, he didn't call me any names, but he was damn close. Like, he was incredibly disrespectful in this video. So like, I think that, again, 3 out of 10, would not book with him ever again. It's still exciting if I want to get the name of the company or whatever, but if I do, it'll be in the description. But like, they were awful, and they book with people all around the Atlanta area, so it's like, it's not even just us. And additionally, it wasn't just me who had a bad story about them. My other friend used them. Same issues, same problems. They were disrespectful, they were late, they lost their stuff. Like, it was just like, what is going on? So again, I have all my things. At the end of the day, I can thank God that nothing was stolen, everything was in good condition, there were no like bugs, like everything was fine. So there's that. But I will never be booking with them ever again, and I kind of hope you don't either, because oh wow, save yourself the stress. But that was the story of my move-in. Sorry for some low energy. I honestly supposed to be in bed. I took a shower to get ready to go to bed, but I was just like, let me video real quick. That's all for today. I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you like it, like, comment, subscribe, give me some ideas for my next video.